So, as if I have too much time in my life after work and professional organisation commitments and everything else, I've managed to still get my FJ Holden, my 1955 FJ Holden, converted back to its original 6-volt system. So I rebuilt the generator, had the armature rewound by DT Graves here in Sydney. Also repaired the starter motor. I re-insulated the field coils, replaced the solenoid with a Porsche 356 6-volt solenoid, and I've managed to get colour matched engine enamel as well. So I put them all back together, got the original 6-volt regulator, adjusted that so the cutout relay is working properly, and of course there's the 6-volt battery with a nice heavy duty lead there to handle the much higher current. But really the whole purpose of this, or what triggered me to go ahead and convert it back to 6, was so that I could put an original valve 6-volt radio back in the car. So I rebuilt this a few years ago, and I recently did an alignment on it, but it's only now that I've gone back to 6 volts that I've finally actually got it in the car. So this is completely original. It's an Astor CR, so that's made here in Sydney, Australia. It's a 5-valve super heterodyne AM radio, and it was resold by General Motors National Automotive Service Company, or NASCO, as an Air Chief brand radio. So this was the most common radio fitted to the early Holdens between 1948 and 1956. So you can hear the original vibrator firing up there to convert the low tension 6-volt up to the 250 volts required for the valves to operate. And while the valves are warming up, you can hear the vibrator tone gradually changes as it loads up. And there we go. So it's working quite nicely.
Not far from happening here.
And there's the rugby league commentary.
Very nice, but we just don't routinely test it to test
right.
to those
And,
frequencies to notice.
A few other stations.
Call Brydens.
You can hear in the background, so when we're between stations like now, you can hear quite a bit of interference noise, and that's generated by the fact that I'm inside a garage at the moment, so haven't got particularly good reception through the antenna, which we can see there, and it's coupling a lot of the vibrator noise into the RF circuits. But when we've got a good station,
A great club, I'm telling you.
when we've got a good strong signal, it disappears.
Sydney on the walk of the
Back. The thing that
So-
sets MasterChef apart is dishes.
So there we go.
Dreams.
Good
What
clear
the show
signal.
does is shows people
Original valved radio. So this is completely stock. A lot of people replace the vibrators with solid state replacements. I actually pulled this one apart and cleaned its contacts and put it back together, and that's an original Ferricart brand vibrator. And to be honest, they're not too flash because it only has one set of contacts, and the excitation coil for the contacts is coupled in on one of the outputs, which results in an uneven loading of alternate contacts, which produces a slightly asymmetric AC that then feeds into the rectifier. So, to be honest, the design wasn't too flash to start with, but nonetheless, it's working fine, and it's oscillating fine and all working. So, got to say, I'm very happy with that. And my recommendation to anyone else thinking about converting their car, an original 6-volt car, to 12, is don't do it. It was a massive pain in the arse to convert this back to 6. It was very, very difficult to find all the right brackets, and getting the right generator and starter motor and coil is only the start of it. Then you've got to actually get all the correct brackets to mount everything up. In the case of this car as well, the later model cars used a narrower belt, so there's a different harmonic balancer. All kinds of things change. So my tip is, there's heaps of cars that are half butchered. Try and keep it original. satisfying outcome.